Hello, this is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful. How are you guys tonight? I hope you're all doing fine. I am freezing. It is so cold. I can't believe how cold it is here. We had a couple of little hailstorms, I guess you'd call it. This afternoon, the temperature has dropped down quite a bit and I just cannot get warm. So I'm going to dink around in the kitchen. I'm going to make some cauliflower cheese soup today. It sounds really good to me. Plus, I had a head of cauliflower that needs attention. So we're gonna get to it, people. Let me go through my ingredients first, and then we will see what we're gonna see. Noise-wise, I think we're pretty quiet. I have 2 chickens running around over there somewhere. Over here is Grandma. She's watching TV, but her door is shut. You may or may not be able to hear that. My 3 little gumball chicks are right over there, and they were playing on the floor and pooped themselves out today. So I just took a peek, and they are like zonked. They are zonked in their bedding. So probably not going to hear anything. Okay, I do not have a recipe for this. I rarely have recipes for soup because I like to just throw stuff in a pot. Plus, I've been making some variation of this soup for, I don't know, 30 years. So I'm going to go through the ingredients. I'm going to tell you what's Food Bank and what's mine. And then we're going to prep it together. And then I'm going to sample it for you and we're going to see how it is. The first thing that we have is a head of cauliflower. And you can see that I've already gone through and trimmed off any little areas that were starting to turn. So I've got this. Still smells real nice. I think it'll be just perfectly fine, but had I left it another 2 or 3 days, I would have really had to cut stuff off, and I don't know how fresh it would have tasted at that point. So this is a Food Bank item, all right? Head of cauliflower. We have about 4 carrots. The carrots are mine. I haven't gotten carrots for a while at Food Bank, so the carrots are mine. We have some onion and some peppers that are Food Bank items. These I keep frozen in my freezer, and I pull those out. And here they are. We are going to use some cheese. The cheese looks like this, and it is a Food Bank item. I do have some already shredded. I don't know if I'll need a little bit more than this, so I pulled out the other one. We have some milk. That is a Food Bank item. If we didn't have this, I have shelf-stable milk. So either way, we're covered. This is turkey bone broth, and this is a Food Bank item. I got a turkey around Christmas time, I think, and I went ahead and made bone broth with it when I was all done. And I'm going to use this instead of chicken stock because this is the oldest. It's 1223, and all of my chicken stock is either February or January. So I want to use this first. I have 1 more jar of this, and then I'm down to just my regular chicken stock. I will probably use a tablespoon or 2 of this stuff. Better than bouillon. Love this stuff. You can make a bad pot of soup. You throw some of this in, you're going to be okay. All right, now I'm not saying I've ever made a bad pot of soup, but I have. So this is always a must. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut our cauliflower up into nice little florets. Once it's all cut up and pretty, I will take it over to the sink and I will wash it. So let me see where my strainer is. Here it is. We'll just toss it into here. And my thing is at a different angle because I needed both be able to see? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, wasn't sure if I'd be able to show you the countertop at this angle, but I think that I can. It's just a matter now of getting organized. Oh, and I'm going to need a little bit of butter and flour. The butter is Food Bank, the flour is mine. And that's just going to be to make the roux. There we go. Riveting TV. I'm probably going to win like an Emmy Award over this. All right. So you can say you were there. You saw the magic. No magic. Cauliflower soup, people. Here we go. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that core off. And I will be feeding that to my chickens tomorrow. I've got a Tupperware on the counter over there that has everything ready for them tomorrow. And I think I'll just cut this in half to start with. We're going to use the whole thing because I don't have another use for this cauliflower right this near future. And I do have one more head of cauliflower in the refrigerator, but I want to roast that, maybe with some carrots and potatoes. In the next, oh, that's still probably got a good week of life, so I don't have to do it right away, but I will have to get to it eventually. And I don't want a lot of the core. Now, I used to make a sandwich. Tell me if you guys have ever heard of this. It's called a cauliflower mash, and it was in one of my vegetarian cookbooks. Can't remember the name of the cookbook. But you take a head of cauliflower and you steam it, and you mash it like you would potatoes. And then you add mayonnaise and salt and pepper. And you take a really gorgeous bun, whichever bun you really like, and you toast it. And you put mustard and mayonnaise and big fat slice of tomato and lettuce and some sprouts if you have it. And then you add a scoop of that warm cauliflower mash, and you eat a cauliflower sandwich. It is to die for. I ate it for years and years when I lived in the Midwest, and my kids ate it, and they absolutely loved it. I haven't made it probably in 10 years now. Don't think my husband would want to eat it or enjoy it. He likes cauliflower, but I don't think he's going to like it like a sandwich. So I haven't made it in about that long. That is my timer. Let me go take care of that. I'll come back to you in just a second. Okay, I'm not sure where the camera cut out at, but I'm pretty much done getting my cauliflower picked apart into little heads and getting that taken care of. Let me bring over my chicken scrap container. We'll get that in there. You hear them scurrying on the kitchen floor. Okay, I am going to run this to the sink and I'm going to wash it. And then I'm going to peel and slice some carrots, and I'm going to grate my cheese, and I'll come back when all of that is done. Okay, I finished the cauliflower. It is rinsed and draining in the kitchen sink. I got my carrots peeled and chopped, and I went ahead and grated a little more cheese, and even if I don't need it for this soup, I will need it later because I have used all the grated cheese I have for the soup. Now I have my little hot plate over here, and we'll see how much of this I can actually show you. The first thing that I want to do is I want to get my broth, my carrots, and my cauliflower started in this pot. And then in this pot, I'm going to make a roux. That's flour and butter. And then I'm going to add my cheese and a little bit of milk and just keep it in this pot until I need it. I think you'll be able to see it. So let me see. Okay, I'm just processing. Plus, I feel little creepies on my feet. Yep. It's chickens. All right, monsters. All right, let's start with this. I need to grab a camera. It's never too late to have an accident in the kitchen. Let's hope we don't have an accident. I don't want to have an accident, but we will see. Okay. I'm going to start with the turkey broth. I'm going to give it a good shake. There we go. Love the new can opener. I never had so much joy as when I threw that other one away. That smells really good. And let's see how much of this cauliflower we're actually going to use. You guys see? I think I can bring you down. There we go. Well, we're just going to use it all. If I have to switch over to a bigger pot, I will. Okay. Spilled water everywhere. And we're going to add our carrots to that because that's what's going to take the longest to cook. So I'm going to let this start cooking. And I'm going to wait a few minutes and then I'm going to start my roux. So I will come back in about 10 minutes, my time, like that, your time, and we're going to start the roux for the soup. Okay. Okay, that's been about 10 minutes. So I am sauteing my onions and my peppers over here, and over here my soup is boiling away in its broth. Let me bring the camera down. And it looks like you can see that pretty well. So my cauliflower is pretty tender. My carrots are almost there, so they'll be there by the time I finish my soup. I'm going to go ahead and turn, oh, I need that back on, never mind. I'm going to go ahead and pop these into my soup. They'll be nice in there for color. And then in this pot, I'm going to start a roux. You guys see right there? Let me move that a little bit. Okay, then I'll turn this. All right, so I'm going to start with a couple tablespoons of butter. We're going to let that come to a melt. And then I'm going to add some flour. And then once I have the flour and the butter combined and they've cooked for a minute or two, I'm going to add a cup of milk and I'm going to add my cheese. And once I get that all melty and nice and cooked, we're going to add it to this. And then our soup is pretty much done. I'm only going to use salt and pepper for seasoning. I might add a little parsley if I can remember to do that. And that is going to be it. Sometimes I take half my soup and run it through my blender and then leave the other half chunky, but I think for today, I'm just going to leave it all chunky. I like a chunky soup. Now, let me see where my birds are because I don't hear anything. Okay, they are on the back of the chair overlooking my cooking counter. They like to be right there. Okay, how's that doing? Okay, so we're going to add a couple tablespoons of flour. We'll start with that. Maybe a tiny bit more. There we go. You guys make your soup like this? The nice roux. Turn that down a little bit, I think. There we go. Oh, goodness. I got all my chores done today. I think I might have a load of laundry to fold. And then I'll have to unload my dishwasher and put my dinner dishes in so that I can wake up tomorrow to a clean kitchen, because I have a food bank haul and I want to be able to come home from that and not be facing a mess. Also, tomorrow I am going to start my egg incubator up again. I have 7 eggs. I just need 1 more egg, and then I'll be able to start that up. And that little thing, for being a cheap little thing, I think I paid less than $25 for it when Grandma and I were still living in New Mexico. And it's, you know, I've gotten 5 chicks out of it so far. And I think that's pretty good for not being, you know, very fancy, for not having all the bells and whistles, needing to hand turn 4 or 5 times a day. But nevertheless, we will see. I'm still planning to go to the co-op on the 8th and get a couple of more chickens. Not very many. We will see how that goes. I'm kind of excited. I don't know what I'm going to be able to get. I guess it'll depend on how early I get there. I want that a little higher. There we go. And that is all we're going to do. So I will bring you back when I'm ready to add milk and cheese. Okay, what are you guys having for dinner tonight? Anybody using their food bank groceries to make dinner tonight? If so, give me a comment and let me know what you did. What delicious thing you made. Or if you're not like me, what fiasco? Or if you are like me, what fiasco did you make and call it dinner? Okay, that appears to be just about what I was hoping for. So I am now going to add this to my soup. Turn that burner off. Now we're just going to go ahead and pop that in there. Okay. Now, once that gets blended in, we'll do a taste test and see what we think and what I need to add. The cheese is pretty salty, so I don't want to add any salt until I've got the bouillon flavor in there and the cheese. All right, I grabbed a spoon. Okay, that's looking really nice, very smooth. That's one of the benefits of doing a roux in another pan and doing your milk and cheese, is that you get a beautiful smooth consistency when you add it to your soup. Okay, let me do a little bit of a taste test. Now I'm just tasting for salt. See if we need to add any salt, and if I need to add some of that better than bouillon. That's good. Let me taste it again. It definitely is going to need some salt. Okay, but before I add the salt, I'm going to add a little bit of this. feel like it's gonna need about a good tablespoon or so. Let's see what that does. Let's see what we think. That was really good. I mean, really good. Okay. I'm still going to add a tiny bit more, about that much, of the Better Than Bouillon. I'm going to add some pepper, about that much. And I'm going to add, I said I wasn't going to add any more cheese, but I'm actually going to add some, maybe a handful, maybe just a little bit more. Okay, let's do that. Let's get that in there. Let that cook down. Let that bouillon get in there. Smells so good, looks so pretty. How's that cheese melting? Okay, looks like it's melting. Okay, and let me get a napkin. I'm just gonna wipe my spoon off. And we're gonna try it again. Let's see. That's it. I'm gonna call it. That is perfect. Let me see if my carrot is done. If my carrot is nice and soft, we are finished, people. Yep. Okay. Now, I'm going to do the official taste test. That burner off? Yep. Okay. I like the consistency. I like the color. To me, it looks appetizing. I'm gonna let it cool for a minute. Or am I? We don't know. Could burn my tongue. It's perfect. It is perfect. There's not a thing in this world I would do differently to this one. It's so cozy. It's so comfortable. It's so wintry. It feels luxurious and rich, but it's not overwhelmingly rich. Definitely a soup worth eating on a cold winter night. I hope you guys will make this. It is so good. Now, I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm just going to eat my soup plain. But one thing I might have done, had Addie been home and the three of us had been super hungry, I would have made a package of my cornbread. and I would have added cowboy candy to that. Now, when you serve this, you can garnish it with whatever you want to garnish it with. A little extra cheese. You can throw in some homemade croutons. You can add some roasted red pepper slices. I have some of those in the refrigerator, but I'm not going to add it here. You can add some fresh chopped bell pepper if you have it, red or yellow or orange. I don't know that I would order the green. It's just because I don't like green peppers very much. And I think that is delicious. You could even put in a little swirl of sour cream or a little swirl of hot sauce, however you like to eat your soup. And that's it. So I don't know how long it took, maybe a half hour from beginning to end to get this soup made, and it is super good. So I'm going to sit down and have a bowl. I'll see if Grandma wants a bowl, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, if you need to go to the food bank, go. It's as easy as that. Just go. If you do go, comment in the notes. Let me know if it was your first time to go to food bank. If you went to a food bank this week and you got some really good groceries, let me know. Let me know what you did with them. And I will see you guys back tomorrow after my food bank haul. I don't know. I know we talked about it. I don't know what that's going to look like, but we'll find out. All right, you guys are lovely and you know it. You know it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.